everyone, Kristen here of Luminous Ministries, and I am back with some more trivia. Today I have 7 true or false questions all about Saint Teresa of Calcutta, aka Mother Teresa, aka Mama T, and I got all the information just in case you're curious from a book called What the Saints Never Said by Trent Horn. And let me just tell you, the subtitle is Pious Misquotes and the Subtle Heresies They Teach You. Now, I happened upon this book because I was watching the Matt Fradd show, and Trent Horn, he's a Catholic apologist, was on the Matt Fradd show, and they were discussing this book and how it was Trent Horn's worst-selling book. And Matt Fradd ended up asking him, why do you think that is? And Trent Horn said, people do not want to know that these beautiful quotes that they've loved their entire lives long, that they've shared everywhere, are not true. They don't want to know that. Burst their bubble, and it makes people very upset, so it was not a good selling book. Well, that immediately made me want to read it. So I went to the library. This was all before everything happened with the coronavirus, and I got the book. Don't worry, Williams County Public Library, I will return this as soon as we're all back in business. But anyway, it's been very interesting, and it has helped me come up with these 7 true or false questions. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's see if you can spot those true Mother Teresa quotes from the false ones. You ready? Let's do it. All right, number 1, true or false. Saint Teresa of Calcutta said, people are illogical, unreasonable, and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you answered false, that would be correct. Yay! Good job! And I mean, you might be surprised by that because this is a very famous quote, because it's actually from a poem that many people call the Mother Teresa poem or the Anyway poem. But the real deal is it was written by a man named Kent Keith. It was his paradoxical commandments, and he wrote it while in college in 1968. And here's the deal, all these years later, you might be thinking, how on earth did it get connected to Mother Teresa then? Well, she wrote a book, A Simple Path, and in the book they had a modified version of these commandments. Now, it never said that Mother Teresa wrote them, but obviously that would be confusing, and readers thought she did. And so now, all these years later, everyone has thought that this was her poem and everything else. And so here Kent Keith is at a Rotary meeting. He hears his words being read aloud, and he's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? That's so crazy. Those are my words. Those are my commandments. So he immediately goes out to the library, gets Mother Teresa's book, reads it, and is just astounded. Because just in case you have not heard this poem in a while, let me do a little refresher. This is just a short excerpt, but people are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Now, what's really interesting about this, and why it's important for us to know that this is false, is because Mother Teresa, we would never want people to take this away, that Mother Teresa did all the good that she did to gain favor with God, because she absolutely did not. And even Kent Keith came out and said that he took issue with the final line, which he did not have in his original commandments, because it reads, it was never between you and them anyway. But he says, we have a God who says to us there are 2 great commandments: to love God with all your heart and to love your neighbor as yourself. So his thing is, in the final analysis, it is between you and God, but it is between you and them also. Lots to think about. Thank you, Trent Horn. All right, on to number 2, true or false. Mama T said, love is the condition in which the happiness of another person is essential to your own. If you answered false, you got it right. Woohoo! Good job. Actually, this quote is from a science fiction novel called Stranger in a Strange Land. Something else I love about this book is not only it tells you what they didn't say, but then it tells you what they did say. Okay, so Mother Teresa did not say that. It's often attributed to her, but she didn't say that. What she did say was that for God so loved the world so much that he gave his son. Love is a one-way street. It always moves away from the self in the direction of the other. Love is the ultimate gift of ourselves to others. That is a quote worth putting on a wall somewhere. Way to go, Mama T. Number 3, true or false. Mother Teresa said helping hands are better than praying lips. If you answered false, way to go, you got it right. Awesome work, everybody. Now, this is what is so interesting. Our Catholic faith does not teach us that you have to choose between praying and serving people. What we actually believe is that through prayer, you grow closer to God, you grow deeper in love with God, and that prayer fills you with the grace that you need to go and love others the way that Jesus did. So they absolutely coincide with each other. So we don't have to choose between the two. And something that's really interesting in the book, Trent Horn says that there are even studies that show that those who are religious are more likely to give to charities and to volunteer their time than their non-religious counterparts. So in other words, the hands that help often belong to those who pray. So interestingly, she did not say that, but what she did say was, without God, we are too poor to help the poor. But when we pray, God places his love in us. Look, the sisters are poor, but they pray. The fruit of prayer is love. The fruit of love is service. Only when you pray can you really help the poor. So good. All right, number 4, true or false. Mother Teresa said, if we accept that a mother can kill even her own child, how can we tell other people not to kill one another? If you said that that was true, you would be correct. And honestly, I think that quote speaks for itself. Number 5, true or false. I have found the paradox that if I love until it hurts, then there is no hurt, but only more love. If you said false, do a little mini raise the roof because you got it right. Actually, this was a personal observation from Daphne Ray, and she made it at the end of her 1981 book, Love Until It Hurts, the work of Mother Teresa and her Missionaries of Charity. So you can totally understand how it ended up getting attributed to Mother Teresa. However, it was a personal observation by Daphne Ray, who wrote this book about Mother Teresa. Number 6, true or false. Mother Teresa said, there is a light in this world, a healing spirit more powerful than any darkness we may encounter. Did you say false? Way to go, you. That would be correct. That actually comes from Richard Attenborough's opening narration of his 1986 documentary about Mother Teresa. So yet again, understandable why it was attributed to her, but it was from a documentary about her. This is not a direct quote from Mother Teresa. Final. Let's jump in. Number 7, true or false. Mother Teresa said, by blood I am Albanian. By citizenship an Indian. By faith I am Catholic. I am a Catholic nun. As to my calling, I belong to the world. As to my heart, I belong entirely to the heart of Jesus. If you answered true, You got it right. Way to go. That was awesome. And actually, I love this quote. And how cool would it be if we all made this quote our own personal mantras? So for me, it would be, by blood, I'm Czech, German, Irish, French, Welsh. My grandma Kurivial always thought that we were related to Pocahontas, so maybe got some Native American in there, although I'm not sure we ever did the tree to get back there, so, you know, unclear, but we'll leave it at that. So, by citizenship, I'm an American. By faith, I am Catholic. As to my calling, I belong to the world. As to my heart, I belong entirely to the heart of Jesus. Powerful words from Mother Teresa. So I hope you enjoyed our trivia time today. We will be back with more trivia soon. Until then, have a blessed and beautiful day. Bye.